let's talk mags. I do apologise. I only have CZ stuff here. CZ stuff is pretty much all I'm aware of. So this will be really helpful for all your UCZ owners out there. Bergara, Voodoo guys, I do apologise. These mags are good, but you have to work them. So between my wife and I think we have 9 of these polymer CZ mags. I went the polymer ones only because they're cheaper and I'm cheap. But there's a few things you got to do to them. Number one is when you pull the spring out, the spring is in that orientation normally. The spring is normally in that orientation, which what it does is it makes that part of your follower sit that way, which is wrong. I found a really good review from Aussie Reviews on these CZ mags. If you're interested on YouTube, yeah, that's brilliant. The first thing he says is change that around. Okay, so that's how it sits in your gun. The other thing I found with all our mags was this bar here, the straight bar that sits in the mag like that. Okay, don't touch this one with the curve, leave it alone. What I do is I hold that, I get my trusty gerber and I move that bar that way or that way. Now what that does is if that bar is this way in your mag body, the follower has an interrupted travel on its way up. And what I find a lot of the times is you have to bend that way so it can run up and down the mag body uninterrupted. This is the problem. There's a couple of problems when you buy them. That is in that orientation. You need it that way. And to get it to run flawlessly, you have to manipulate that little leg. Always think the straight leg, not the bent one. Now another tip that I got off a very old, very wise gunsmith many years ago was to use, don't put oil or anything in that. All I use is graphite powder, just a little puff. I'll put a little puff on one of the witness holes here, and you'll find it coats everything on your mag. Keeps everything in there dry, free of oil, free of dirt and contamination, and they run flawlessly. So like I said before, between my wife and I, we have 9 of these mags. I have a couple of steel ones too. Now the steel ones, when I pulled them apart, the spring was in the right way, but I still had to play with the follower. Okay, that's a real good tip for you CZ owners. That little leg there. Okay, hope that helps. While we're talking about mags, this is what I do. In my 10 rounders, I run a +3. Now this could get a bit confusing, so bear with me for a sec. In my 10 rounders, I run 11. Okay, because in the CZ platform, I've noticed on the last round that you eject out of the gun, if it's the last, so say I run 10, on the 10th round, when I run my bolt back, that case will normally end up still in the receiver, in the ejection port area. If I have 1 left in that mag, so I run 11, that last round spits out. Now I can't find anywhere on YouTube or the internet as to why that happens. I haven't had anyone properly explain that to me yet. So if I'm shooting a 10 round course of fire, I've got 11 in my 10 rounders. If I'm shooting a 12 round stage, then I'll pull this big boy out. So it's a 15 round mag, but I only load 13 in it for the same reason. So if I've got a 12 round stage, I'll have 13 in my mag. Okay. So every time I come off my gun, I've always got 1 round left in my mag. And that helps me with that little problem of that case falling back where I don't want it. Because as we know, these little 22 cases are very finicky. Another thing, just another thought I've had while I'm here. I don't know if you can see. Hopefully that will pick that up. On my gun, I run a trusty screwdriver in a butchered 1 round SAP 1 round holder. Now I haven't had to luckily use that very often on my gun, but I've had to use it for my mates quite often. That's a handy little thing to know. And then I run my mag, my spare mag, on the opposite side of my gun. Okay, hope that helps.